Beasts in the East clash for a trip to Madison. Roman looks to reign over the competition, but can he hold off a rising Canadian star? A streak is on the line for a game's bet, and will hard work pay off for Jayson Hopper? We preview the North American East Semifinal next. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside the Talking Elite Fitness Studios. I'm Sean Woodland with Tommy Marquez. Lauren Khalil will be here in just a second as we preview the North American East Men's Semifinal. New format this year with more spots up for grabs, and that means a new type of excitement that we've never seen at this level.
Yeah, and for this North American East Men's division, they have more spots than any other semifinal division, 12 spots up for grabs. That means if you're going into Sunday and you're 17th, maybe even 18th, you're very much in it. You have a shot of getting to the games, which is only going to add some excitement to the fans on site there that get to watch not just one final heat, but essentially two final heats with spots up for grabs in both.
North American East Semifinal will be one of the first semifinals right out of the gates. It is a 4-day event. It starts May 18th and goes through May 21st. There are 11 spots open for the women, 12 tickets for the men to the CrossFit Games, and then 10 spots for the teams. And right off the bat here, we're going to get to see an in-person matchup between two men who have podium aspirations at the CrossFit Games. That's Roman Khrennikov, who was on the podium last year, and Jeffrey Adler, who hopes to get there in 2023.
Yeah, and really this is going to be our first full look at Roman, the reigning second fittest man on earth. With all of the outside influences finally taken care of, he's settled him and his family into Cookeville, Tennessee. They don't have to worry about moving or anything else like that. They're with the Mayhem team. He gets to train with a talented stable of athletes versus training alone. Speaking with his coaches, they've been really dialing in his technical proficiency on gymnastics to shore up some of the weaknesses he has, like ring muscle-ups. And it's scary to think that we're finally going to see the results of Roman having his sole focus on training, and that he could potentially be just scratching the surface despite already having that silver medal around his neck.
Let's talk about Jeffrey Adler now, the other side of this equation. He has been steadily on the rise. He has changed his training this year to focus on getting himself onto the podium, and 2023 looks like it could be his year.
And this matchup kind of feels like deja vu a bit. You go back to last year's Atlas Games when he squared off with Pat Vellner, the then reigning second fittest man on earth. But since then, Jeff has just been on fire. He won the Atlas Games. He matched a career best finish at the games. He has the podium at Rogue. He wins the Open. And all of these results in live competition ultimately just give him more license to focus his training on things that will gear him up for a podium run in August versus necessarily having to worry a little bit more about these intermediate stages. And you know, Jeff's thing is that he's always been good at online competition. As he builds this resume with live competition, I think he can safely focus and understand that even if he maybe doesn't win or beat Roman, he's got bigger aspirations in mind and that he's on the path to accomplishing those.
But Noah Ohlsen may not be a favorite to stand on the podium at the CrossFit Games like Roman Khrennikov and Jeffrey Adler, but he's trying to keep a streak alive here at the North American East Semifinal, looking for his 10th straight trip to the CrossFit Games, which is crazy to say because it just seems like yesterday when he was a rookie in 2014 and even wore the leader's jersey at the games that year.
Yeah, it seems like it was just yesterday, but also a lifetime ago. I don't really understand how that works, but really this could be one of the most impressive streaks that we've seen. 10 consecutive individual appearances at the CrossFit Games is rarefied air. Only Ben Smith is the only other athlete to do it, and it's a testament to his resiliency. I think he may argue with you about being a podium favorite still, because I know Noah definitely still has those aspirations. But so many variables play into this sport that could derail a streak that could last a decade. Think about that. The injuries, lifestyle factors, anything that could have knocked that off. But really, one addition to this season that I think has kind of given maybe a little bit of new life, or at least a kick in the pants, is that Annika Greer is down there training at Peak 360. She's under the training think tank crew as well. So you have a young, hungry athlete to train alongside. And for someone like Noah, I think it could help galvanize him towards that 10th consecutive appearance.
And Noah Ohlsen is just one of many veterans from 2022 who are at the CrossFit Games who will be competing in the North American East Semifinal. Dallin Pepper will come in as your top seed. Now, one man that you do not see on this list is Jayson Hopper. And Hopper is coming off a top 10 finish last year in Madison, took 7th overall at the CrossFit Games, and he is really looking forward to competing at the North American East Semifinal with this new format and more spots to the games up for grabs.
It's like a practice games, honestly. It's like it's literally a games before the games. So it's gonna be good. I think I like it better that way because it's like Honestly, I like the idea of like 12 spots more than 5, just because like, okay, like I feel like I can make 12. Like I could definitely be top 12, hopefully, but just a little bit more pressure when it's like a lower number, I guess, with 5. So I like the structure. So we'll see how it goes.
For more on Jayson Hopper, let's bring in the third member of our team, Lauren Khalil, who was recently in Vermont and got to spend some time with Jayson. And Lauren, it really seems that this season, Jayson made some big steps to give himself the best possible chance to wind up on the podium in Madison.
That's right, Sean. He is one of those athletes that's on this upward trajectory. When we saw him at the games for the first time back in 2021, he was 19th overall. Then he joined HWPO. In 2022, he took 7th overall, and now he wants to leave no doubt, and that's why he picked up his bags and he moved to Vermont to train in person with the entire crew. Now, he said that he's already seen some huge improvements with his weightlifting by having all of those coaches there, giving him immediate feedback, and also having Mal to work with him on different elements in their training. He knows what work he needs to put in. He says it doesn't matter who's at semifinals, who's at the CrossFit Games. He knows the work that he needs to do to get on that podium.
Definitely looking forward to seeing Jayson Hopper at that North American East semifinal. Lauren, thank you so much, and we'll check in with you again when we break down the women's side of that North American East semifinal. Let's get back to the field at the North American East semifinal for the men, and there are some athletes who are looking to have a bounce-back season here, but who do you think has the biggest bounce-back at this semifinal?
Well, there's certainly some intriguing stories, some of the near misses. You think of Tyler Christoffel, James Sprague, both who were just outside of a qualifying spot last year. But I think the athlete that has the biggest bounce back was actually in the team competition. That was Samuel Cornoyer. The last time we saw him at an individual competition at the games, 2021, and remember, he was sick, so ultimately didn't have the performance throughout the weekend that he wanted. He switches to team, he moves to Cookeville, he gets to tap into Rich Froning as a resource to kind of refine and mature his approach to competition as an individual. Speaking to some of the crew out there, they say he is just firing on all cylinders, and as long as he stays healthy, he's an athlete that could really shake the tree a bit into the top 10. He has top 10 aspirations. He has podium aspirations. And for someone that hasn't been on the individual competition for a couple years, he just seems like this monster just lurking in the shadows, ready to break out once we get to North America East.
12 tickets on the line at the North American East semifinal for the men. Going to be a blast to watch May 18th through the 21st. If you haven't gotten your tickets, get them now. Be there in person. It's going to be an absolute blast. We will continue to break down the semifinals on our YouTube channel. We'll have our women's preview for North American East available as well. You can always follow us on Instagram for news and notes as to what is going on in the CrossFit space as well. For Lauren Khalil and Tommy Marquez, I'm Sean Woodland. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you next time.